Since the secret to balancing your pond and maintaining crystal clear water lies in the usage of beneficial bacteria, let's talk about that for a few minutes. Now, what is beneficial bacteria? Beneficial bacteria occurs naturally in the wild. It's a microorganisms that they're growing everywhere in your pond. They're growing in the gravel, they're growing on the sides of the stone, they're growing in your filters, they're growing on the roots of your aquatic plants. They're pretty much everywhere. Now, oftentimes I get asked, if they occur naturally in the wild, then why do I have to add them to the pond? Don't they just happen? Now, yes, they do just happen, but let me explain something. Naturally in the wild means you have a large pond or a body of water, you have one fish per 5,000 gallons or 10,000 gallons of water. Now in our enclosed systems, in our ponds, we have typically 500 gallons to say 5,000 gallons total volume of water, and we have 20, 30 fish in there. So that's why we need to add beneficial bacteria on a regular basis to help compensate for that, for all that extra fish load that we have in there. Now, we have 4 different varieties of beneficial bacteria. Some are powders, some are liquid, and some of them are seasonal. So we want to talk to you about when to use them, how to use them, and all that stuff. So let's get started on that. Okay, so there's different varieties of beneficial bacteria to choose from, so I think it's important that we explain each one of them. Now we have a dissolvable blend of bacteria, and we have a liquid variety as well. The liquid variety is great because you can add this to the skimmer, waterfall, or stream, and you can have equal distribution of beneficial bacteria through the entire pond. Now, we also have a dissolvable blend, and this is probably one of my favorites. It's a very targeted blend of bacteria because you can sprinkle it across the surface of the pond and have it settle out and start working on the nutrients in the bottom of the pond. Especially if you have an area in the pond where there's a lot of sludge buildup in one specific spot, you can even put a little bit extra and target that one specific area. So this is a great blend. This is our all-season variety, and this is going to work for most ponds most of the year. So when your water temperature is about 65 degrees and up, this is the bacteria to use, the all-season variety. Now we also have a cold temperature blend as well. Now this blend works great even if you have ice on top of the pond. As long as your water temperature is 40 degrees and up, this is the one to use, and you can have good nutrient breakdown even through the winter time. So 40 degrees and up, just remember that. And when your top temperature gets around 65 degrees, then you can switch to the all-season variety, and then you can save this for the fall or the spring. Now we also have a super strength variety of beneficial bacteria. This is for those troubled ponds that are more in critical stages, where if you have a lot of leaf debris, if you've neglected the pond for a while, if you have a wedding coming up and you just have to have that pond looking sharp, you're going to switch to the super strength. Now this is about 10 times the strength of the bacteria of the other ones that we're offering, and once again it's very targeted. So if the bottom of the pond is real messy with a lot of sludge buildup, super strength is the one to choose from. And then once you have the pond balanced and more established and water's crystal clear again, then save your money and switch back to the all-season variety. What I have here is the bacteria that's been used in the pond and water garden industry for over 20 years. Now what I don't like about this product is that it floats. So as you see, most of the bacteria will get trapped along the perimeter of the pond on the edges of the rock, or it'll get swept into the skimmer, and it won't settle down to the bottom of the pond where it's needed the most. Let's talk about new technology and beneficial bacteria. This dissolvable formula sinks immediately, so you can target specific areas where organics build up in the bottom of your pond. Okay, so let's talk about how often you should treat your pond. Now on established ponds, we suggest that you use the dry bacteria once a week on a regular basis. Now for optimum water quality, we suggest that you use the liquid bacteria in addition to that dry bacteria weekly. But use that liquid bacteria at least once a month as for routine maintenance. Now, let's also point out a couple of common mistakes while we're at it. First, many times we find that pond owners stop using their dry bacteria and only rely on their liquid bacteria as the primary water treatment source because it's so easy to apply. But for optimum water quality, you want to use both the dry bacteria and the liquid bacteria in conjunction with each other as part of your routine maintenance. Now second, we find that pond owners stop using their water treatments altogether when their pond looks beautiful. Now don't make that mistake, okay? Because it's important to keep up your routine even when your pond looks pristine to maintain your pond's balance.